your daughter's taking 3 miles.
Yeah, we can check it. And then I got all the news last night. And then she did that.
Right.
So that yeah, I was like, all right, let's take it.
Good morning. Welcome to the Board of Trustees special meeting for December 29th, 2021 at 9 o'clock a.m. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the invocation. Mr. Johnson.
Bow your heads with me. Dear Lord, thank you for this day, and thank you for the citizens of Lincoln Township. We thank you for our freedoms and our safety that we enjoy here. I pray for those people who are out protecting us, who are out in different countries protecting our country. And I pray for those families that you would be with and comfort them as they miss their loved ones. Amen.
Please join me in the pledge.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. Ford? Here. Mr. Carlisle?
Here. I'll move to adopt the agenda, removing the parking purchases off the daily business that's not needed. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Johnson, second. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Ford?
Yes.
Mr. Carlisle?
Yes. I'm going to move the adoption of the December 14th, 2021 special meeting minutes and the December 21st, 2021 special meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
Mr. Johnson, second. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Ford?
Yes.
Mr. Carlisle?
Yes. Public comments. Public comments will be limited to what's on the agenda. The AL Neyer will not, public hearing on that is closed, so no comments will be allowed for that. So are there any public comments in regards to the TIF and the OTA Magazine?
Mark Evans, 91 Old North Church Road. I do have a comment on the parkland purchases.
That's off the agenda.
That is on the agenda.
It's just been removed by
Okay.
motion.
Okay. And you're not allowing anything off the agenda?
No.
You did last time for the developer.
No.
Okay.
I just stated that we are going to only.
All right. Well,
because it's
regarding the
special.
TIFs and the, which are part of the properties with the parkland purchases, I did receive the TIFs contracts, just not the purchase contracts. It's been 2 weeks. Then as far, well, I guess I can't talk about that. Quite ironic that there's freedom of speech poster back there. We can't really comment on anything. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll go to old business B, the application submitted by Al Neyer LLC as listed on the agenda. We had a public hearing in regards to the rezoning. The public hearing was closed. Mr. Johnson moved to table till this morning. What's the board's pleasure in regards to the Al Neyer LLC rezoning from Ag PMUD?
Mr. Chair, my personal feelings on it are that we don't have, this board doesn't have the time to do this justice this morning, to go through it the way that we go through all of these. So I would make a motion that we table this until the January 4th meeting. Let the new board, let the new administration take this up and handle it the way it should be handled.
There's a motion to table till when?
January 4th.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Johnson, second. Discussion.
So you don't feel comfortable voting on it, or you don't want to take the time to go through it, or what your,
I don't think we have the time to go through it completely. I don't think we could do it in a meeting. I think there's probably 2 or 3 meetings worth of stuff to go through, and to do it the way that we've done. We've handled all of these other rezoning requests. I just don't think that this board has time to go through it and give it the attention that it deserves. That's just my personal opinion.
so the new board hasn't heard public comments, so at that point,
They can go back and listen to
they'll
the
have to,
tape.
they'll have to listen to the tape. That was my concern, that they wasn't heard public comments. Is there anything else we would need added to it, you think, or just,
To the motion?
I mean, no, anything you think that we would have to add, I guess, because you want to table it because, you know, you figure it's not, we didn't spend enough time on it, right?
Well, there's no way that we could go through the text. You know the process that we've gone through as a board with all of these rezonings, and we just, there's not time this morning, and we're almost at year's end, and there's a new board coming on, and my personal opinion is that we should table and let them take it up. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Which one I'm looking for? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other further discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Ford?
Yes.
Mr. Carlisle?
Yes. TIFs. In regards to the TIFs that we passed at the last meeting, the item that was brought up was about the TIF on the west side of 310. When we do these, we have to do notification. We did the notification. The parcel was in the notification, however, it missed getting included in the resolution. So we would have to go back, had to renotice, and get that into the resolution on the one. The other one that we're going to have to do today is one that we did pass, and there was a typo in the parcel number. And so we had to renotice that one to be able to put it properly with the proper parcel numbers. So I assume we got all those correct, Mr. Carter?
We did, and again, this is the same provisions as was previously passed. That's a 75% 10-year TIF for the improvements, necessary improvements to go along 310, plus utilities, specifically sewer, is the major concern there. This creates a funding source. It doesn't commit to any particular project, so that's kind of a to be determined matter, but this sets up the...
It's determined by the developer.
It is, but I'm just saying that there wasn't a specific, you know...
Do you have resolutions prepared?
I do.
What property is this on?
JPW.
Oh, okay. What, the east or what?
The west
East
side.
side?
It's the
West side.
it's the east side for one parcel.
That was the
That was the one that was not listed in the resolution, and the west side for one with a parcel number correction.
Oh, okay.
Are both of them in this resolution?
Both parcels are in the resolution, yes, as well as the agreement for the approval of the agreement for the TIF, the same as we did before.
So this is just a resolution to revise?
It's actually its own resolution.
Okay.
There'll be two. So the first one covers the one parcel sold, and there's a typo, so to make sure we fix that, we renoticed for the property that had the typo. It's on the west side. And then the east side property, while in the notice to the schools and so forth, it wasn't in the resolution. Too much happened the day before Thanksgiving, and it didn't make it. So to make sure we didn't have any problems, noticed for both properties are in this resolution. A third property is in the resolution already passed.
Okay.
So there's 3 properties in total for JPW.
I'll move 21-12-29-01, the resolution for the correction of the 2 properties in JPW on the east and west sides as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Johnson, second. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Ford?
Yes.
Mr. Carlisle?
Yes.
The agreement, yes.
What's that?
The agreement, yes.
Okay.
In regards to the OTA Magazine, when we were back doing public records, we found a magazine from 1939 that the OTA published. This resolution that's been provided is to give that magazine to the Ohio Township Association. The township will retain a copy, and the magazine itself will then be given to the Ohio Township Association and put in their archive. So I'm going to move 21-12-29-02. Resolution finding property of the township no longer needed for public use, and approving the private sale of the same. The private sale of the same will be paid for, it's $1. And according to the Ohio Revised Code and township resolutions, that we have to charge for that, and Mr. McCarter is going to pay the.
Well, actually, we slightly revised that. They're going to retain it, so we don't have to go through the whole dollar thing. It'll be just, they'll retain it for you.
Anything to say about
They'll retain it, so.
Is there a second?
I'll second, but I have a question about it.
Okay.
So normally if we found a magazine, what would we do with it? What's the normal? Okay. Because normally follow the historical site, don't we?
The magazines typically are well, we've charted everything in the public records. And I talked to Doug Connor, he's the public records guru for the county.
Right.
And I talked to him about this yesterday, and he said since the OTA is going to retain it as part of their archive, because they do not have that magazine, that we're allowed to give that to them, that they are then the keeper of that record.
But you're retaining a copy for your own records as well.
Yes.
And a copy has been made.
And that was his suggestion, to keep a copy, and he thought, he actually said, you're doing the right thing by giving it to the OTA.
But as a historical society, would we need it or would we want it really, or?
They don't have the money.
Oh, they don't have it.
The OTA has.
Oh, okay, so they don't retain the knowledge for OTA. Because they would get cases. So for them to have it wouldn't do anything.
No, it doesn't give no value to them. It's more valuable to the OTA to complete, because that's the one magazine they do not have.
Are you kidding me?
We have the one they do not have.
Yeah, I agree. It's worth a lot more than $1.
Any further discussion?
We have, they'll have that as a public record, and if somebody wants to view that, they can just go to the OTA and view it, or,
They can come here and view our copy,
Yep.
and if that's not good enough for them, they then can go view it at the OTA.
gotcha.
Roll call.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Ford?
Yes.
Mr. Carlisle?
Yes. Mr. Johnson, is there a second?
Second?
Second discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Ford?
Yes.
Mr. Carlisle?
Yes. I'll move to adjourn. Is there a second?
Can you wait, hold on, sorry, indulge me for just a second, okay? Barring some sort of an emergency, this is my last meeting as a trustee. Just wanted to thank the residents of Etna Township for their support the past 12 years. I've met some great people. Also want to thank all the employees. I'm sorry, you probably can't hear me. I want to thank all of the employees that I've worked with. They've been a great group of people to work with, the face of the township, and they're a wonderful bunch. They do a great job for the residents. Want to thank my kids for the sacrifice that they had to make. And lastly, want to thank John, Jeff, and Wally. Excuse me. I think we're leaving Etna Township a heck of a lot better than we found it, so thank you.
It'll be my last meeting as well. I can't say it better than Randy did. I echo his comments. It's been a pleasure serving the residents of the township. I agree. I believe we've left the township in a lot better hand, a lot better shape than it was given to us. We've watched Etna grow. We've watched a lot of progress, and it's been a pleasure serving the residents for 12 years. And I've been a trustee for 20, and after 20 years of service, it's been a pleasure to watch the township grow in a positive direction. And so with that, thank you again. As Randy said, this is our last meeting, and thank you. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Ford, second. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Ford?
Yes.
Mr. Carlisle?
Yes.